Buenas tardes, amigos. My name is Host Erico of Talking with Famous People. I'm also, of course, known perhaps best for my work as a sergeant in La Policía de Tipo. Anyway, welcome to another exciting episode edition of Type Police. Try as you might, you just can't hide, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type Police, Type Police, please pull that guy over. He says he's INTP, but seems extroverted, sensing to me. I think he's ESFP or Type Police. Welcome back to Type Police. Ladies, I got a couple young ladies pulled over here. Purportedly a couple of introverted intuitives. I got my doubts. I guess they've been making a fair amount of hay with these claims. We'll see if they will stand any scrutiny. Calling out for me $100, ladies. Calling out. You two, huh? INTJ, INFP coffee, you say? Well, let's take a listen. Let's see what there's to say here.
No, it's okay. Just be like, I'm Alex, I'm INTJ, and I'll be like, Calypso, blah, blah, blah.
Hey guys, welcome to our channel. I'm Alex, an INTJ.
And I'm Calypso, the INFP. This is INTJ and INFP Coffee, where we talk about various topics in MBTI, as well as fun hypothetical topics.
Right off the bat, I'm sensing some backside FE going on here. Not inconsistent with their claims. INTJ, you've got that strange INTJ version of FE happening. Where you look like somebody who's heard about FE and has decided to try it without checking out what it's supposed to look like first. And other girl, what was that mush at the beginning? You were saying? Let's continue. So far, I'm not too alarmed here. It's not inconceivable these two could be the types they say they are. Let's let them continue and we'll watch another piece of another video.
In our upcoming wine series, also going to be conducting interviews.
So we'll try to bring more MBTI types on their channel so you guys can see a broader variety of personality types.
Okay, so we're updating videos every Tuesday and Thursday, as well as the occasional Sunday. I think right now it's like every Sunday. Okay, I should do that again. We're uploading, no! This is so difficult.
No FE to do this. Please have sympathy for us FIs. We're trying our best.
Oh,
Okay, so
you girls are
new videos every
absolutely
Tuesday,
adorable.
and Sunday, so please.
I'm very distracted by the cleavage. I'm not going to deny it. It's extremely distracting. Let's continue. Let's look at a different video. Let's see. Are judges more stubborn than what? Perceivers? Maybe. Let's find out.
Hi! Today we're going to talk about this, stereotype that judges are very, very stubborn and set on making their ways come true, and perceivers are more go with the flow. And we're going to have more of a freestyle conversation on whether that's actually accurate or whether it's really attributed to something else. And today we're going to talk about how maybe it's more attributed to your perceiving axis. I feel like everything we do is like related to your perceiving axis. This kind of came up when Alex was, or maybe I've been inviting Alex to a bunch of stuff and she wants to know like what's gonna happen so she doesn't get herself into an event that she doesn't like want to be in. And then I was like, yeah, I don't really care, whatever we're doing, I'll like just do the thing. And then you were like, wait, really? Like you don't care if it's gonna be something that you don't like? And I was like, well, I'll probably like anything, or I'll probably just be neutral enough to just do the thing that we end up doing.
I think it was also because someone else, so like an SJ basically. Because at first we were like, oh, maybe that's a judge of perceiving. Yeah. No, I know. I just didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say.
What?
I'm fine. I thought you actually don't remember because you have an eye and you often remember nothing. He's usually up for doing whatever thing.
Yeah, and he's ESTJ.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, so I was thinking, oh yeah, even though he's a judger, he's not like Alex being like, oh, I must know exactly what I'm getting myself into. He's more just like, okay, whatever we're doing, I'll just like do the thing. So oh, maybe that's like an NESI thing versus, oh, because I know like some SFPs who are incredibly like, oh my god, like Jackie. Instead of just going to the party that he's invited to, he was like, okay, what is gonna happen exactly at this party? Like we had to explain exactly what was to unfold at this party before he decided that he would like go or not go.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that in my
Okay. This is let me watch a little bit more. I was in a bad mood before I started this video. I was all butthurt at Kimberly. This is making me laugh. I don't know what to say about this.
video with Eric, who's ESTP, he kind of pretty much said the same thing too, that like he has this vision of reality that he kind of wants to manifest or wants to make happen in some way. It kind of makes sense when you think about the nature of the cognitive functions, or I guess the nature of the axes more so, because NISE way more are, I think, grounded in actual reality and what's happening, and then through that NI can pick up on little patterns and project likely future possibilities. And often I think we have a lot of like preference for this, because I guess NI is like internalized and subjective, right? So it's also, I think, what we think is most likely, but in a lot of times it can also be like what we would prefer to unfold. The way at least NI works for me is that I can really envision exactly how I want like a certain circumstance to unfold. And I think this is because NI is so singular in focus, but yet also kind of holistic and sees the whole SE reality as one singular thing. And I think maybe for your axis it's because SI is much more about specific little components.
Okay, so this girl is definitely intuitive. That girl who's just tugging. INTJ girl. Is she INTJ? Probably. Her FE seems better in this part as she's explaining something, but it still seems backside, and I'd buy NT, so INTJ makes sense if she's in fact an introvert. The other girl, I'm not sure if she's intuitive or sensing, but I do get a lot of SI out of her from her storytelling. They're both cute, you know, and that I'm sure helps. If I were a hot chick, I'd probably have more subscribers, I guess. You know, it's nice to look at this video, and what the INTJ chick is saying sounded mostly right, except when she said that it was internal and therefore subjective, which is insane. I've gone over this subjective thing, objective thing again and again with in many videos, so I don't want to go over it again right now, but I guess I'm going to anyway. I just want to say that the reason NI is objective is because it attempts to understand things from a universalist perspective rather than a particularist perspective. So in the same way that TI extracts from judgment personal interest, so too does NI extract from knowledge personal experience. And that's what makes it universalist, and that's what makes it objective, because it's dealing with the symbols of the things rather than the things in themselves. Okay, so that's enough about NI and it being objective. So you're wrong with that INTJ chick, but you're not under arrest. You can go to 7-Eleven and get a big gulp. I gotta deal with your friend here. I'm not quite so sure about her.
So maybe there's multiple ways in which, like, let's say you like 10 different components.
Go to 7-Eleven, I said.
Possibilities of how to combine these 10 different components you like into various scenarios where you can like this sort of thing.
I think it's because it's really hard for me to get bored because I'm always interacting with intuition in an external sense. I think that's why.
Right.
Honestly, I can watch like the most boring movie ever and still be like...
And it still
like,
generates ideas.
Like I'm like at least in a baseline level of entertainment at all times because I'm interacting with intuition in the external environment. It's almost like interacting with it as if it's an object. Like sometimes
In the external environment? Are you really, or are you just saying those words? I haven't heard any. I've seen your fingers do Itsy Bitsy Spider. I haven't heard any intuition from you yet. I've heard a bunch of things describing a type rather than displaying a type. I can't find my aviators at the moment, so I'm wearing these bad boys. I know they aren't force approved, but I gotta give this chick a little bit more time.
Okay, this is funny. Tell me if you guys think this is weird because my coworker thought this was like the weirdest thing ever. He was like flipping out. But I said that sometimes I would just sit in a room, all media off, and just like think. And he thought like, who would do this? Are you a psychopath? But yeah, no, I'm like entertained because I'm like interacting with my thoughts. In a sense, we have greater personal control or personal ownership of the sensory level, like what happens to us, because it's introverted sensing. So it's like, okay, maybe this thing is in reality, but like my association with it or what I make it out to be in my head is good. So yeah, I think we can go through a variety of experiences and take what we want away from it in a sense.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can kind of fathom a way in which like maybe negative things happen for like a reason. But I feel like that's such like an I think.
I don't think
like,
that's true what she said about extroverted sensing. Introverted sensing meaning you can take away from a thing what you want to take away from it. I don't think that's true at all. I think introverted sensing is a way of framing knowledge that links it back to your personal experience such that it makes predictions by extrapolating out from what's happened before. And when any is ahead of it or higher up in the stack, it functions as the other end of the associative mechanism of analogy, basically. So, or with TI, it's analogy. With FI, I'm not sure, but exactly what you'd call it. But it's still going to have disparate associations. So it's like you'll take some word that normally a person would naturally associate with dry or something, towel, dry or wet or something like that, and you'll have an association with the Taj Mahal or something because of whatever reason, because you're habitually looking for novel connections such that that whenever you encounter NI, you ignore it. You don't just ignore it, you reject it as too obvious. This is a reflexive approach of NE. And so it looks for the thing that's least obvious or most disparate or most original. Now over time, an ENTP or an ENFP, presumably an INTP and INFP as well, but I think they're naturally more deft at using it because it's their tool function, whereas the NE DOMs are awash in it, So eventually you get more deft at at using it in conjunction with introverted intuition. So, introverted intuition, introverted thinking, and extroverted feeling, such that things are either insightful, logical, or funny, which is insightful, comedic, I guess. And that's what you work towards your whole life, is being able to operate that NI exchange faster and more correctly. You know, being able to parse away the best of parse away options that aren't good enough and retaining all the ones that are or are ideal, you know. Anyways, we'll talk about NE there. Let's watch this lady a little bit more.
Experience of the event, but for NI, maybe it's like my internal cause or theory of like why a negative event could actually have a positive implication overall.
Well, yeah, you have more like control over ideas, I guess, and like something like life has a lesson is an idea, but I don't think I have any ownership or control over my ideas. Like I said, I just have an idea, and it doesn't even seem like mine. It seems like I just grabbed it out of the sky, and then later it's gone. It's like these clouds passing me by. Like that's how I experience NE.
That makes sense. No, I do think that we have less control over how we experience the world, so we want to be.
I'm just not convinced she's an intuitive, frankly. That's not my experience with extroverted intuition. I still feel like ownership of certain ideas, and I also have some relationship with trying to keep track of which ones are the extent to which things are original. So, you know, I take from all sorts of different places. In a recent video, I said something about like not citing stuff. As a matter of fact, as a debate coach, I'm habituated to citing everything at work. You know, when I'm doing cases with kids and stuff, we have evidence for everything and we cite everything. I don't typically do that when I'm talking about cognitive functions, because first of all, it would be impossible for me to cite anything. It's like I take bits and pieces from all different places, from commenters, from videos, from things I've read about oceanics, from things I've read about MBTI, from things I've read about man. I take shit from everywhere. If it sounds good, I take it, you know? So it's hard to say exactly what's original or not. But the point is, I still make that calculus. I still go, okay, well, this is the original idea. It's synthesized maybe from little bits of these things over here, but it qualifies as original and is mine. And I make the alternate calculus for other things, you know? I try to attribute it when I remember who it is I'm citing or quoting when I can. Usually it's like a commenter or something. Or another video maker. Regardless, I don't really feel like I got quite enough evidence to arrest her. But I don't really want to let her go either, because I have my serious doubts about whether this chick's an intuitive.
Choosy and based on our NI patterns.
Yeah, here I wrote like, okay, the SE ones, they're forced to accept reality as it is instead of interpreting it for themselves. So then they try to control or change it. But we are already kind of changing it in our mind anyway. So it's like, hey, you can just do whatever you want. I think I'm always like, yeah, we can just do whatever. And actually, the SJs I know, not just my boyfriend, but also like one of my friends. So she's usually like, yeah, what do you want to do? I'm okay with whatever. What do you think of this? Yeah, but then you're like, no, I know exactly what I don't want to do for this event.
And I think when I try to be more open, then I think maybe because I don't retain the sensory info that much, I don't often remember a lot of specific things that I like or specific things I don't like. Like I recently went to a meetup that was more physically oriented, which definitely isn't something I'm good at, but I was just like, oh, this sounds fun and I should just try fun things and why not? But then I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is why I don't do things like this. I'm not that athletic or like physically inclined. So in that sense, it kind of reinforces like, okay, that's why I should just go with my NI idea of what I want out of a circumstance. And then when I try new things, I may or may not like them, and then I may not even remember. Might be more critical. Might be more critical.
I don't think it's like how things unfold. I think it's like what things unfold.
Right.
I don't think they're as picky about what the thing is, but they still, I think all judges care about how things are unfolding. They like to be a bit in control of that process and not have like weird, super unexpected things happen.
Right.
But I think the thing itself, the SJs are more flexible on rather than the NJs.
That makes sense, because I guess with
Alright. Well, the only really intuitive idea I heard from her this whole video is, or since the only thing I heard her say that suggested to me she was intuitive is when she said the thing about controlling reality rather than accepting it as it is. That sounded like in any reality that I identify with somewhat. You know, like, it's about managing the narratives rather than accepting other people's narratives, which is the alternative. Or generating your own narratives out of other people's or whatever, but I guess not really continuing to develop them. Or I don't really know what it's like not being an NE user, but I'm gonna have to let her go, I think. I mean, I should probably detain her for some little ticky-tack shit just so we could investigate further. But I'm gonna let her go. But lady, listen. If I see you out on the road again, I might have to pull you over again because I have my serious doubts. I think you might be an ISFP. Or even an ESFP, because you seem pretty damn hyper for an introvert. You know? You don't seem like an introvert to me. But if you are an introvert, it would seem to me you'd probably have... I just don't see you as an introvert. I think you're an ESFP, maybe. But I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm letting you go. You get a pass today because you could be an INFP. It's possible. Alright, INTJ and INFP coffee. Have a nice day. Drive safely. You be safe out there. I'm serious. You be safe out there. Okay? I don't like having to harass young ladies like you with stopping you in the middle of the day for no reason. Just, you know, you were pretty suspicious, so I gotta do what I gotta do. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time on Type Police. Try as you might, you just can't hide, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type Police, Type Police, please pull that guy over. He says he's INTP, but seems extroverted, sensing to me. I think he's ESFP or Type Police.